Caitlin scored more points per game her freshman year, but Paige was more efficient her freshman year. Everybody was trying to decide who's the better player. Who would you rather have on your team? That's still a topic of
the debate surrounding Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers has captivated basketball fans, analysts, and even casual sports enthusiasts for quite some time now. Who is better? Who deserves the throne in women's basketball? Stephen A. Smith, known for his fiery and opinionated takes, has finally weighed in, and let's just say he didn't mince words.
But when you've got somebody like Bueckers, here's what Shannon and Andrea, I've been bringing this up for the last couple of weeks or so because I'm a fan of Paige.
Before we jump to conclusions, however, let's dive in and explore these players in detail.
She's just a competitor. She wants to win. She has just intangibles of the game. She knows how to play, a great IQ.
Paige Bueckers talking about Caitlin Clark, and she clearly knows her competition. Paige burst onto the college basketball scene in 2020, earning a reputation, is one of the most promising recruits in recent memory.
And what Paige did in high school was stuff we had never seen before in the women's side. Like, what Paige could do is, like, she had more to her game than Caitlin Clark. Like you're looking at these clips, like, just the way that she played ball was like nothing we had ever seen before.
Paige Bueckers has already become a household name in the basketball space, and she is heading into her senior season at UConn. Just this past summer, we have seen Paige traveling the world, doing a bunch of brand deals, and a lot of media were wondering if she was really putting in as much hard work on the court as she was off.
UK's dominance at UConn under the legendary Gino aura was something else, as her accolades piled up even before she set foot on campus. She won several awards, including Grade National Player of the Year, Naismith Prep Player of the Year, and Morgan Wooten National Player of the Year.
Remember back to Paige's freshman season, there was so much hype around her because she had a skill set that we hadn't seen from guards in many, many years, and there was so much hype and buzz around her.
However, Bueckers' trajectory was marred by injuries that sidelined her for much of her college career.
I'm a fan of Paige Bueckers. The reality is that she got hurt. I want everybody to understand something.
Twice.
She got hurt twice.
Fractured tibial plateau and a torn ACL disrupted her sophomore and junior seasons, preventing her from building on her early dominance.
Her career has been riddled with quite a few injuries. In December 2021, she suffered a meniscus tear. She was out for 19 games during that season, and then really soon after recovering from that injury, she tore her ACL in August of 2022, and she was out for the entire 2022-2023 season.
While it is true that she is an extraordinary talent, her long absence from the game has left a void, something we can only imagine what could have been.
Paige Bueckers lost a little bit of what Caitlin Clark didn't. And I think that's the reason why the general public, especially as the years went on, were more so gravitate to
rise to popularity was no doubt due to her amazing potential, but it fell short before she took FL. These injuries took away a little bit of
the momentum she had as far as just being in that media spotlight, because she did have to take time off. However, last season she did have a great season, and everybody was hyped to see her go up against Caitlin Clark during the Final Four.
Now let's talk about Caitlin Clark, the unrelenting force of nature, who has taken women's basketball by storm from the moment she stepped onto the court for the University of Iowa. Clark has been a record-breaking phenomenon. Her style of play, marked by long-range three-pointers, jaw-dropping assists, and an unparalleled competitive fire, has drawn comparisons to NBA greats like Steph Curry and Larry Bird. Clark's 2023 NCAA tournament performance, where she led Iowa to the championship game, solidified her as the face of women's basketball.
Indiana Fever made the playoffs. They didn't play last night, but thanks to Las Vegas with a win over Chicago and Phoenix with a win over Atlanta, the Indiana Fever have their first playoff berth since 2016. 2 years ago, their home attendance was 1,800 fans. Their average this year, home attendance, is 17,000. That's almost 10 times. And, of course, the big difference is Caitlin Clark. I think she should be up for MVP.
Like Bueckers, Clark hasn't missed a beat. She led the nation in scoring and assists during her final college season, shattering records left and right in the WNBA. She hasn't just been good, She's been transformative. Clark's rookie season saw her break 62 records, lead the league in viewership spikes, and bring unprecedented attention to women's basketball. Some have compared Caitlin Clark to Tiger Woods, and how she's revolutionized fan engagement in women's basketball overall attendance, in case you missed it. Is up by 20%, breaking TV viewership ratings and merchandise sales. Either way you slice it, it's clear that we're witnessing a golden era in the sport. Caitlin Clark, what I tell y'all when speaking on the debate, Smith didn't hold back. Let's be real, he began in his signature fiery tone. Paige Bueckers is an exceptional talent, no doubt, but Caitlin Clark is redefining the game. She's breaking records, filling seats, and bringing eyes to women's basketball like no one else has done before. Smith emphasized Clark's unmatched ability to dominate on the court and her off-the-court impact in elevating the sport. I want everybody to understand something here. She arrived on the college basketball scene when Caitlin Clark was already here, and we were talking about her. She a National Player of the Year as a freshman. This girl was spectacular. She gets injured, and she misses the entire year last year, and that's when Caitlin Clark really busted onto the scene. Not to say that she wasn't doing special things prior to that, but she really busted onto the scene. P is absence MHM. But it's important to understand the dynamics of the debate as well. The media has played a significant role in stoking the Clark versus Bueckers rivalry, often drawing attention to their similarities. Both are white women, phenomenal shooters, and highly marketable athletes. But this narrative has often overlooked the differences that truly define them. Clark's competitive fire and bold personality have made her a polarizing figure, while Burke's quieter demeanor has earned her a reputation as a beloved underdog. It's like, I would literally call it a colossal matchup between these two, one because of everything that they've been through. Paige with her injuries, Caitlin with almost winning a national championship last season. But you have to remember, these two were the topic of conversation their freshman year in terms of who's going to win National Freshman of the Year. Caitlin scored more points per game her freshman year, but Paige was more efficient her freshman year. Paige's team was a little bit better, and everybody was trying to decide. Let's be real, Bueckers is great when she's healthy, but fitness matters. Clark has been out there every game, putting in the work and delivering results. That's the difference between a potentially great player and a generational one. There are stylistic differences between the two players. Bueckers is like Chris Paul, a floor general, a coach on the court. She makes her teammates better. But Clark is like Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant rolled into one. She scores, she facilitates, and she intimidates. She's got that Mamba mentality, and that's what sets her apart. I want to make it abundantly clear that I think that Caitlin Clark deserves every single award that she has won this season, whether it be in the WNBA or beyond. We have gone overall of the stats, all of the numbers, all of the reasons why I think Caitlin Clark is already one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, purely for the fact of what she has done on the court, and also the kind of eyeballs that she has brought to a sport that really never had this kind of fame behind it, this kind of fandom behind it. That's right, if we are to speak purely based on achievements, the argument becomes a no-brainer.